Have you set your sights on Sci-Chi scholarships? You should. This short, exclusive interview will walk you through key things you should know to ensure an outstanding application. Hello there, this is Bradley on Psych Everywhere. With me is Sarah Iverstine, Sci-Chi's amazing awards and grants officer. Sarah's been at Sci-Chi for 3 years now, and during that time, she's overseen many scholarship, award, and grant applications. With that experience comes a lot of special insights, which I know applicants will really want to hear. Sarah, welcome to Psych Everywhere.
Hey.
So I am so happy to have you on the show today. I know we get a lot of questions about awards and grants. A lot of people are uncertain, like, is this right for me? And should I do it? And what are my chances? And we're going to get the scoop on all that kind of stuff today. To get us started, could you just kind of give us an overview? Like, what are the scholarships and why should students apply?
Yeah, so our scholarships are $3,000 awards given to 8 graduates and 8 undergraduates. And the purpose of them is to help defray direct educational costs, so things like your tuition and fees. We also have 2 additional scholarships that are more specific. So we have our Nez Beverly Prosser Scholarship for Women of Color, as well as our Christian Led Hall Scholarship for Mental Health Advocacy. So just a note on those, there's 2 separate scholarships, but they are included in those undergrad and graduate applications. They're not a separate entity. So altogether, we have 18 scholarships at $3,000 each. And you should apply if you're looking for something to help you offset those tuition and fees that you have at your university.
So when are the deadlines for these programs?
Yeah, so the scholarship deadlines for the undergraduates, it's always going to be the last Monday of June. The graduate scholarships are always going to be due the first Monday of July. So for 2026, that makes the undergraduates due June 29th and the graduates due July 6th. A note on that as well is that the scholarships are due at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So you want to make sure you mark that time zone if you're in a different time zone. Also, you want to make sure that you have your recommendation in at the same time as the application. So because of that, I advise you to get into the application at least a couple days early. Make sure you have time to review everything. Make sure you go ahead and hit submit, and you talk to your chapter advisor to make sure that recommendation comes in at the same time. If you run into any issues, make sure you send an email to awards.support@psychi.org before the deadline. So before 11:59 p.m. Eastern on June 29th or July 6th. And make sure that you have started an application already so that I can get in there and help you.
Do you have any tips to better someone's chances of winning?
Yeah, so just like I said before, it's really good to go ahead, get in the application as soon as you can, start preparing your materials as soon as you possibly can. So now I'll go through each of the application elements and just give a few tips on each of them. So one of the first things that's going to ask you for is your CV. You want to make sure that you include any and all Sci-Chi involvement and activities either within your own chapter or elsewhere. Things like the Sci-Chi blog if you wrote for it, the Eye on Sci-Chi magazine. You also want to see if you could have somebody review your CV if possible. It's always best to have some other eyes on it other than your own. The next questions are going to ask you to upload your transcripts. Either you can do official transcripts or unofficial transcripts. An unofficial transcript is something that you obtain as the student. So you can go into your own portal, pull it yourself, and then you go and upload that to your application. An official transcript is something you're going to have to go to your university. Likely you might have to pay for it. And you're going to either have it emailed directly to awards.support@psychi.org or you can have it mailed to the Sci-Chi headquarters. And that official transcript will be downloaded by me and uploaded to your application. It's really up to you which one you want to do. If you do end up getting a scholarship, you will have to submit your official transcripts, but it doesn't really make a difference in your application which one you want to do. The next section will ask you for some financial information. You'll have to input some and then also upload some documents. 2 of the documents are your cost of tuition document and your financial aid letter. Now, these are not required documents, but a note is that it might hurt your chances of receiving a scholarship if you don't provide them, just because it will make it a little bit harder for those evaluators to determine your level of need. If you do decide to upload those documents, make sure that it has some kind of identifying information for you so we know that they're your documents. One of the last sections is going to ask you about a personal essay and a financial need essay. The financial need essay is about 500 words, whereas the personal essay is about 1,500. A note on that is to make it unique to you. Evaluators are going to be able to tell if you're using AI-generated things, so please don't rely on that to write the essay for you. We want to hear from you, so please make it unique to you. Another note I wanted to make is the last section is going to be a recommendation from your Psychi chapter faculty advisor. In the past, we'd ask you to ask them to upload a letter of recommendation for you. However, this year we're going to change that and we will be doing a standardized recommendation form. So instead of uploading a letter of recommendation, they're going to go in and rate you on qualities. So we want to make sure that you're connecting to your chapter advisor as soon as you can so they know that that's coming up. They should be looking in their email to get an email from you. If you have any questions or concerns about this, maybe you're far removed from your Psychi chapter, please reach out to me. I can help you out. And if maybe they're not receiving the request email from Smarter Select, I can always send them the direct link.
You mentioned evaluators, so let's talk about them. Like, what are they looking for in our scholarship recipients?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll start with the CV, what we're looking for. Obviously, looking at GPA, your research, and your publications. Also, want to make sure any and all Psychi involvement is on your CV and highlighted on your CV. We're also going to be looking at your academic excellence. So, again, things like your GPA, your publications and presentations, and any honors and awards. Also, your personal qualities. So, personal qualities when compared with Psychi's mission, scholarly pursuits, chapter experiences, member development. Like I said earlier, your Psychi involvement is a huge part of the application. So, anything on campus or elsewhere, things like writing for the Psychi blog, the Eye on Psychi magazine. If you served as a regional steering committee member, you're going to want to make sure that you highlight those things in your application. And then lastly, rating you on your current and future plans in the field of psychology, as well as your plans to work at mental health advocacy. And that is specifically related back to that Christian-led Hall Scholarship that I mentioned earlier.
I know for me, I don't like to wait on anything. I like to binge my shows. I like to get my info quick. And I imagine that that's how it feels applying for a scholarship. So, like, when and how will you know if you're a scholarship recipient?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, all of our notifications for all our awards, grants, and scholarships are sent through email. So, it's the email that you put into your application, and they'll be sent either from news@psychi.org or from awards.support@psychi.org. All of our notifications follow a 30 to 60-day deadline. So for the undergraduates for 2026, you should receive an email notification by the end of the day on August 29th. And for the graduate students, you'll receive a notification by email on the end of the day, September 6th. So if it gets to be August 30th or September 7th, you haven't seen anything come through, you've checked your spam and your junk and you're not seeing anything, please reach out to awards.support@psychi.org and I can resend that notification.
One of the fun parts about my job is I work with a lot of the journal authors, and I get to see their excitement when they get published over the years, and but I'm not actually giving them money, right? You're giving them money, so I bet you've got a lot of favorite memories from past scholarship seasons. Could you share any of those? Give us a little inspiration.
Yeah, so I think for me, it's really special to me to award those two specifically named scholarships, the Inez Beverly Prosser and the Christian Lat Hall. And I actually was at SciCi when we first implemented the Christian Lat Hall Scholarship. So getting to see that be implemented and follow all the way through the first year and seeing it awarded to the student and seeing how much it meant to her and how much it changed her for the better. And then she was able to go on and get a research grant and go to regional conventions and all of these things was really, really special. And then to award it again last year and then award it again this year, I think it's just a really great opportunity to really highlight those that are working in mental health advocacy.
Hey, and last but not least, I know scholarships is just the tip of the iceberg with all the programs we offer. Could you tell us a little about the other awards and grants?
Yeah, for sure. So, two of the programs I really want to highlight are our research grants and our travel grants. Our research grants are for students who are looking to defray some of those research related expenses, participants, expenses, all of those kinds of things to support you in your research. And those are available for both undergraduates and graduates. They run 3 times a year. We just had a deadline on May 1st. Our next deadline is going to be in the fall, so October 15th. So, looking forward to kind of see if you're going to be involved in research in the fall. That might be something you want to look into. Also, our travel grants, if you're looking to present research at conferences or conventions in the next year or so, you want to look into those. They help defray some of those direct travel costs to get you to the convention. The next deadline for those is going to be in December, December 5th. And then lastly, I wanted to highlight our chapter activity grants. I think these kind of go unnoticed some of the time, but if you're involved with your chapter, if you're a chapter officer, this is something to start looking forward to in the fall as well. Maybe when you get back to school, you can see if your chapter is planning to host any events, any activities, any conferences, maybe even traveling as a group to a regional convention. And you can apply to those chapter activity grants in October and help get some funds to fund some of those activities.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the show today and answering those questions that everybody wants to know the answers to all the time. Um,
Yes.
if somebody's watching this video and you're thinking, I don't know if I should do it or not, just do it. Okay, get your application in because you won't know if you'll win unless you try. So just go for it.